This was losers finals after Nicki had gone on a pretty insane run. Aklo, he's been doing really well lately, so I'm not super surprised that he made it this far in the tournament. Honestly, I thought he would probably win, but it seems like Moki just had a little bit of the edge in the Fox Ditto. I'm sure the Aklo dub is right around the corner. That guy is getting closer every time. He's like the new, like when Cody was kind of like hammering at the top every time, almost getting it, but not quite getting it. And I think Aklo plays like a really good like patient style, and it's always sick to see those flourish rather than kind of just like somebody's crazy good at tech chasing or punishing or something like that. I went over this set ahead of time. It's 4 games and Aklo won 3-1. It's pretty interesting, sort of like the breakdown of like kills and stuff like that. I think Aklo did a really good job overall of avoiding sort of like the handoff kills that were sort of plaguing everybody else, and in the majority of the situations Nicki wasn't able to get really good handoffs more than once a game, and usually when he got them they were off of some weird, not a weird situation, but there were a couple situations where he managed to get them that were off of just pure tech skill errors for Aklo. Something to highlight out of the set is that Aklo's mashing is actually really crazy, and it saved him like a handful of times that other players would probably have died. The pre-mash is going to be something to take away from this set. If you are about to get grabbed by ice climbers, you're in a spot where you're vulnerable, you can mash ahead of time really hard, and Popo's pummel attack is out on like frame 12 or something. It takes a decent amount of frames to come out, and it's hard to always press it perfectly on the first frame, and so a lot of times if you're mashing really hard as you get grabbed, not reacting to the grab, but ahead of time, you can get into a situation where it's possible to break out at lower percents before the first pummel even happens. Avoid any sort of handoff combos, and that's really good, especially when the Ice Climbers player is sort of scrambling and they're under pressure. It's really tough to confirm the grab and hit the pummel perfectly right on time. If they're just a little bit off, then you're suddenly getting out, and you know that very significant grab that they were about to get is no longer as significant. So let's get into the game, and I think the beginning is a little bit feeler. They're kind of running around. I actually really like this platform movement. Something that's really common that people do that is not good against ice climbers is they waveland in here, or they try to overall use this space to sort of move over to cross the center line. You generally want to avoid going over ice climbers, like crossing over the top of them, because they have a hard time approaching. They're a wave dash character. They have to commit a lot to move in, but their up air doesn't have a lot of lag, big hitbox, disjointed. They want you to try to jump over them. So it's really common for people to try to get this waveland here to move forward to center, or to jump from side plat to top plat here. And you're actually a lot safer just chilling on the side plat, moving in on the ground, and you move back on the side plat, or you stay in place. So like when Aklo does this sort of like jump up to the side plat here, he's entirely safe. There's nothing that the ice climbers can really reasonably do here to hit him, except maybe some sort of wave dash in up air, which if they miss, it can put them in the corner and they get gimped. It's just like an overall really strong position, anything to the outer edge of the side plat. And so Aklo is kind of like repeating this position. And you see the only way for Nicki to even deal with it is to do this sort of wave dash in up air, which is a huge read. Sometimes, you know, people don't react to it fast enough, and this is a little bit of the danger in this spot, is they can come down with a back air or a down air and kind of spam moves here. But if you react to this really well, this is just a free Fox opening every time. You can kind of hit whatever you need to here. This was like a really good spot by Aklo where he's playing this position on the platform where it's really safe, and then he punishes Nicki for even trying to catch him for it. And now that he has a little bit of chaos generated, he's just going in and looking for the Nanogimp and kind of playing against both of them. Here he uses the side plat really well again. They have a hard time dealing with Fox on the side plat unless you're trying to come down this way, which is why he's covering this space. So he just chills. Remember, reset to the outer edge, not the inner edge. Chilling on the outer edge here, very safe position. Looks to make sure he's not being caught in a setup, and he goes for this side B, which is fine. I don't think there's necessarily a reason why he had to abandon this position. I think it was pretty strong, but the side B is overall pretty difficult to punish, and he was able to get to it out of a stationary position. Like here, he's shielding. He doesn't have to let go of his shield and give Nicki time to deal with it. He's just gonna escape here. And now notice that he's not trying to, like, use this space. Oh, I'm going to jump back and forth. He's back in the corner. He's back using this side plat and wave dashing back, forcing Nicki to commit over to these side plats here in ways that he doesn't really want to. Manages to clean up the nana kill. It didn't happen super early. It wasn't like an instant nana kill, but he manages to get her out of the way before he takes too much damage, which is the main point. And then you're just dealing with Popo, and I think a lot of times what people don't get right about Popo is that he's actually pretty tricky for Fox in neutral. He can't really make too much happen, but he also has such a quick wave dash. It's kind of like Luigi on the ground. He can wave dash in and down smash you in a way that's not really reactable. He has this really good ability to avoid Fox's approaches with the wave dash back, and so you kind of end up in this weird spot where you feel like you're playing against this character who's like several tiers below you, but you're unable to actually really make something happen. And it kind of feels like you must be doing something wrong if you're playing just sort of like a patient neutral with full hop and laser and the side platform and stuff like that, but it's not actually wrong. Popo is just pretty scary in neutral. I don't want to say scary. He's just not free in neutral. It's like maybe fighting like Roy in neutral as Fox or something. It feels like this low tier character should be really easy to beat, but they have pretty decent tools to cover the basic approaches. So generally against Popo, you're just going to want to like play it safe. Aklo does a good job of that. I think Nicki's Sopo kind of popped off this event. I think he was doing a really good job of staying steady with Sopo. He's not treating Sopo as like a disposable situation where, okay, I just need to get what I can on the Fox before going back to the double ice climbers. I think Nicki's doing a really good job of, in all of his sets, of staying consistent with the dash dance, the patient neutral. He's doing he's using like quick back airs, walled aerials, and then he uses his movement to sort of just avoid Fox's approaches. You don't really have to punish the approaches, but if you just sort of consistently stay out of the way using the wave dash, you don't want to be playing into the situations that Fox is playing into. If Fox is fighting and you're fighting, a lot of times Fox will just win. But if you use your movement, avoid their setups, avoid any approaches Fox is doing, look for a strange timing, then maybe wave dash in and get something unreactable, like he went for the wave dash in F tilt. Popo can actually combo spacies pretty well, so the hope is not lost when you're Popo here. As long as you stay patient, you can get some pretty good openings, but it's obviously not as good as the double climbers. And if Fox plays solid enough against Popo, there's just not a lot you can actually do. I really like what he does, where he just sets up the lasers, he's playing safe with the dash dance, he reacts. This is basically like an opening you would use against any wave dash character, against Samus, against Luigi. Take center, you move around for a bit, you show that you're camping, you act like maybe you're going to move back towards the center, you avoid their wave dash in approach, because they don't want to just stay over here and get caught. This is like a big vacuum for them to wave dash into. Every wave dash character will see this, and a lot of times they wave dash into a tilt or something like that. Avoids it into the running shine, which is perfect. A lot of times the wave dash characters, they have, low friction. They're going to slide a long way from the wave shine, so it's really hard to confirm wave shine up smash. But if you catch them off of the running shine, then now you have the extra momentum. It's a lot easier. And he gets this running shine mad early, and he just barely kills Popo. This is like about as optimal as you can get on the Popo kill. And I really like the light shield here. I think that I personally prefer to do it on the side plat. I always say light shield on the outer edge of the side plat's really good against ICs. But it works well. He avoids the ice blocks so he doesn't get caught. He's moving around a little bit here, but he's also doing a good job defending himself with shield. So Nicki's kind of poking, doesn't want to commit too much. This is a really common spot for Foxes to run off. Nicki's just catching it with the back air. This is why, as the Fox, staying over here is so good. They don't want to overcommit over here. It just puts them in a really bad spot. Notice this is Nicki using his Sopo movement with both climbers. He's using the movement really well. Sets up a position where this might be vulnerable. Move away, see if Fox attacks it. Try to punish Fox for attacking it. Reset. This is kind of how ICs have to play. Create a position, move back, see if Fox attacks it. Okay, he gets this Shine Gimp, which is really good. I think this is something that people sort of underrate, is that if you throw Popo off stage, or just get him off stage at all, Nana will immediately run all the way to the edge to try to help him. If Popo grabs ledge, he can do the sort of like up B, where he throws Nana invincibly here to get back. But if he doesn't do that, there's always this opportunity to get Nana to catch Nana jumping here, and even though he tries to save her this time, he messes up the up B a little bit and doesn't get the regrab here, and so Nana's vulnerable for the Shine Gimp. And now this is huge. You have a stock lead as Fox, you kill Nana really early, and now you're fighting Popo for this whole stock. And so you just... This is a really good edge guard, by the way. He just jumped out a little too far for this. This is the same edge guard I use on Popo. Double jump, Shine, so strong against the side B. This is that really good neutral by Nicki, where he's just doing the dash dance, waits for the approach. While this is really good neutral, this shouldn't really work. Aklo is getting a little impatient here. Should play the same situation as he did the first stock against Popo. Back off, lasers, use the side plat. Trying to jump in and nair him, it feels like he's so bad and he's so vulnerable. But his movement is good and his combos are good, and so you just don't want to mess with it. So yeah, this is sort of like, it seems like Nicki didn't realize he missed his double jump, or used his double jump, but he was kind of dead here already. Aklo just cleans it up really well with the forward tilt. And notice that Aklo has been doing a really good job so far of not getting grabbed. It hasn't even been really like a grab situation to avoid. And so he's getting killed here, you know, 2 stocks ahead off of like this really high percent back air. That's not too shabby for Fox. Like, that's a very solid Fox stock. Aklo comes back and immediately starts the up throw. This is kind of a mean strategy against ICs, is when you come back invincible, they can't punish the grab, so you can just run in and get the grab pretty early. I think it's a good strategy by Aklo. He's taking the vertical route. You can kind of take Nana off the side route for the Shine, or the vertical route with the up airs. The vertical route is way worse, but it comes up more often. Like, you just happen to hit them out of the air and you hit them again, and you're like, oh, okay. This is a situation I really like. I really like using this, where you get the Shine and you double jump away to the top plat. ICs can punish it with a full hop up air after the Shine, but it's a bit of a hard read. First of all, they have to react to Fox not doing an aerial. Fox is a lot of times doing aerials here, which gives them the free grab, so it makes sense for them to try to not really hard punish this. But if you do it a lot, they might start punishing with the double or the full hop up air here. You can actually just do jump, Shine, waveland down and avoid the up air. It's a little bit of a advanced mix up when you both know what's going on. I think we're about to see the only significant grab of this game. It's not from Aklo being dumb. He actually goes for this and he's trying to waveland off here and probably almost guaranteed get the Nana kill here, but he misses the waveland and just instantly dies. So this will happen sometimes. One little mistake can make things go bad really fast. And so despite all this hard work that Aklo did, you know, Nicki is able to bring it back through capitalizing really hard on this one opening. But it feels like the momentum is somewhat in Aklo's favor here. He's doing a little bit of a better job dealing with the actual problems. I think that this was a little risky. I think this is all good. This is good. This one, where he comes down here, this is a little vulnerable. This was not a super good choice by Aklo, and Nicki could have potentially punished this. It puts him in this spot with this. This is also not good. He could have definitely gotten grabbed out of this in some capacity. So a little bit of a misjudgment from Aklo, but he gets away with it due to having really good tech skill, and he ends up getting the Shine on Nicki, which honestly probably wins him this game. It changes the momentum of this game really significantly. Most of this set, it feels like it comes down to spots where when Aklo does his stuff right, Nicki dies. And when Nicki does his stuff right, Aklo dies. And a lot of times, Nicki is just barely missing, or Aklo is barely escaping out of stuff. And then because Aklo is hitting his stuff really consistently, it gives him the edge kind of this entire set. But this was not a blowout. Despite the fact that Aklo was playing the situations very well, it was not a blowout. And he hasn't gotten grabbed by any sort of tricks. Nicki has not gotten one, like, real grab outside of the missed waveland right there. So I really like this Blizzard by Nicki sets this up. There are a few ways to handle this up B, and I don't think Nicki handled it super well. I think probably getting Nana to the ledge here and probably doing some sort of down smash or back air as Popo is probably the best, or maybe even going to the ledge and doing a down air. I'm not exactly sure. Going for the grab here, which is what it looks like Nicki was doing, is potentially the highest payoff, but I think the fact that Fox can get this angle versus the straight up angle, I see the vision. I just personally think maybe Nana going to ledge, hitting him off, getting a setup where the up B is a little bit more predictable maybe before going for this would be great. Okay, great back air. Nicki gets the setup. This is his only other significant grab this game, and he gets it out of the tech chase, which is really good. Their strongest way to get real grabs against Fox is you don't just get setup to raw grab, you don't get Blizzard to grab, you don't get jab grab if the Fox is really really on point. But you can get down smash grab, back air grab. This is super good. Just goes in right here, gets the grab, and like this should be death basically. Whenever those situations happen, he messes it up. If Nicki hits every single one of these he gets during the set, it probably goes in his favor. But he's missing some pretty significant moments. And when Aklo is getting his positions, he's doing a very good job of not letting them get reversal, basically. Like, when Aklo has a strong position, he keeps it. This is a little bit dangerous. I don't think he needs to do this. I think just chilling on the side plat's fine. He almost gets punished for it, but he still escapes. The side B is pretty hard to react to, I get it. When he misses here, Nicki misses the follow-up, and then this dash attack, crucial bad dash attack here, just barely misses, and this is why it's so rough when they want to commit into the corner, because if he had just kept playing this position, maybe, you know, maybe he gets a win out of this. If you whiff one dash attack, trying to catch Fox in this platform area, this is why going up and down here is so strong. If they make one mistake here, big overcommitment, now they're in the corner, Nana instantly dies, and the odds of coming back here, even with Nicki's crazy good Sopo, are immediately really low. Aklo's now super comfortable. He gets to run away on the platforms. He gets to use the vertical. He just gets to kind of chill. He's trying to sort of press his advantage a bit when Popo is, like, he's trying to press in a little bit too much, which is, I think, pays the price for it. Right here, it should definitely just be like a retreat angle, get your laser damage on Popo. There's no reason to be trying to force this. And, you know, Nicki takes it to the bank. The vertical is so good against Popo. Like look at this. He's using the same stuff he was using against the double ICs, but against Popo, and there's just not a lot of great approaches for Popo here. If you're at really high percent, Popo might be able to whip, get something where he's just like, wave dash, full hop, back air. But like, you're at 0 as Fox here. Nicki is super struggling to find something here. He goes for this back air, thinking Aklo might jump off the plat, but honestly, the situation is super dire. The only way to really play this here as Nicki is to camp for a grab. You need to just be sitting here, like, looking for the grab at all costs. Like, jab, grab, and that's pretty much it. And he kind of adjusts into it, but it's a little bit too late. And Aklo gets so much mileage out of this jab up smash. The majority of Aklo's kills this entire set are jab up smash. And he gets them at the kill percent, like, every time. I think, if Nicki did a little bit better job defending against the jab up smash, which is not easy to defend against, but if he did, I feel like he had this set in the bag. So that's a solid win for Aklo. I feel like he was the only one so far in this tournament as Fox who played the matchup pretty well. Like, obviously, like, you know, you're mostly practicing against top tiers and stuff like that. It's hard to have consistent ICs practice. I think it's important to play to the really strong positions. The side plat position, so strong. Works on every stage that isn't FD. We'll see in the game 2 where he's not able to use that platform stuff, how he's a little bit more vulnerable. So yeah, game 2 is on FD. Let's see. So Nicki wins this one 2 stocks to 1. And he gets 2 crazy high value stocks. One of them, he grabs Aklo at like 0, and he gets like a 0 death handoff. And then the last stock of the game, he gets basically like a 0 death with Popo. FD is the stage where Popo has by far the best punish game on Fox. Maybe it has a little bit to do with like up throw combos, but you can DI out of those. More significantly, they hit Fox, they get 1 knockdown or something, down smash off stage. Popo can kind of cover everything. He can go to ledge, he can ledge dash if you go on stage, he can just hit you again, throw you off stage. It's very difficult to get back here, and Nicki uses that so well in the last stock and manages to like get this whole Popo stock. Those make the run a lot of times. Like, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes as ICs. If you can get those crazy Popo stocks, that's like Fox getting a shine spike at 0, or like Marth getting a down throw down tilt. That's like, oh, that was really like big mileage that you weren't necessarily supposed to get. So Aklo's kind of getting like, oh, I guess I'll dash dance. I guess I'll get like these short hop in, like down air, looking for like a short hop drill on the wave dash. If Fox does get this, he probably gets a split up. He gets to run around, get a bunch of free stuff, maybe kill Nana. If he misses it, he's probably dead here, and that's why they're so good on FD. The jab grab here was really good. He was having a really tough time grabbing Aklo all set, and I think that made a really big difference. When he does get the grabs, I think it might happen once this game. Aklo does like a crazy good job mashing out of it. This is basically like an instant 0 death, but watch, Aklo mashes crazy hard and gets out. Nicki did not need to allow this. He's able to keep the handoffs going, but because of Aklo's crazier than usual mash, Nicki was not expecting this. Instead of a perfect 0 death, the most significant opening they can get just turned into 65 damage, which is huge. This is something I'm fairly in favor of as Fox on this stage, is you stay mostly in the corner. And the idea is the same thing as the outer platform on Battlefield, is that while you're in the corner, yes, you are vulnerable to something like wave dash in, jab grab, or something like that. You can be really ready to shine them out of jab grab. You can be really ready to fade back. You're trying to convince them you look very vulnerable over here, and they can push into the corner. Then you either get some sort of drill shine, you go to ledge, you get a ledge dash, you're able to get a bunch of like sick reversal opportunities here. Fighting them in center, a lot of times, it kind of traps you. You don't have the escape to ledge. You don't have the ability to bait them into this potential negative case. Like when you're in center stage, if they wave dash in jab grab, they're not in any sort of really bad spot. They're still in center. But if they try to wave dash in jab grab you in the corner here, the chances are that if you miss, as Icy's here, you're going to die. Fox will get some kind of crazy reversal on you. There's a big overcommitment in the corner. So it sort of mitigates their best tool, even though it's a little counterintuitive because you're in the corner. And so I think he's doing a good job here of like trying to trick Icy's into going too far into the corner. Nicki's doing a good job of not overcommitting. This is what you should be doing as Icy's here, is you hold center. Ooh, this was super good. He's holding center, not giving it up. Aklo tries to move towards center and immediately gets opened up. And this is probably a kill. No. And that is another time where Nicki had something pretty significant and played it really well, and then missed the confirm, and then Aklo is not missing when he has his spots. Like, Aklo has the advantage now. Ooh, he does miss. But Aklo overall has been consistent on hitting his best openings. When Nicki's getting his best openings, he's dropping those a little bit, and it comes back to bite him. He gets away with this. This grab was the big game changer this game. Aklo does this up B, which is okay. I feel like he panicked a little bit up in the sky here. I think the best thing to do a lot of times here would be to do some sort of like air dodge down here, or maybe even up B here and go to the ledge. I think this was an okay move. He does a really good job getting the burn here. And this would have been good if Nicki didn't get this air dodge out. Like, it's kind of just like a really weird spot, and Nicki's able to get the instant grab before his dash dance really gets started, and he gets this perfect, does not mess it up, gets the full 0 death handoff. Yeah, this is the only game against Aklo where he gets a handoff at 0 and actually kills out of it. And I think if he had gotten even just like 2 more of those, this set just straight up goes to Nicki. But he was having a really tough time grabbing Aklo at low percents. A lot of times when he tries, Aklo is able to kind of clean up Nana, punish the overcommitments. And Aklo does a really good job also of not letting Popo live. Popo lives. This is that same spot again. He got caught in the same position here where he got caught with the full hop. With the double jump out. I think usually if you're a little bit more in the corner, they're a little bit more wary, but he got caught right here. This is where he upbeat last time and got grabbed at 0, so he decides to mix it, and Nicki's super ready to catch him out with the double jump, and misses a pretty simple edge guard. Okay, just playing some neutral, moving around. Aklo's doing a good job not letting the grab setups happen. The small tech skill errors against ICs add up. This is the type of thing that was getting Josh, man. We'll go over that set in another time. He's getting wave dash back, shine, short hop up air behind their shield, which is like a great pressure. And then immediately miss 1 dash dance. If ICs manage to kill you out of this, the matchup starts getting pretty hard. It's not easy from the ICs end to avoid Fox in neutral, but if Fox is making those little mistakes, it's kind of just like 1 Z press away from taking the match. Okay, Aklo's pushing him around. This was a really good shine gimp. I think that doing the up throw here is fine, and I think doing the back throw here is also good. I think Aklo's preference to do the back throw here works out really well. Like, he just back throws Popo. I mentioned this in the first game. Nana will immediately chase him over, so he shines her away, throws him behind. Nana will now move forward, uses that to push her off, and gets the clean running shine gimp. And now that Popo's alone, he just goes for the up throw. You get the shark. They want you to wait for an up tilt, which is the easiest option, so that they can come down and maybe get a trade with the forward air. If you're an IC's main in this spot, keep doing these forward airs. And I'm not saying that from the Fox end. I'm saying, like, I don't really think there's anything better here. I think you're kind of stuck. I think the best option, doing a good job here, double jumping out, doesn't allow the combo. I think, like, you're gonna get juggled like this. You get a couple mixes, try to get out, don't let Fox get the free up throw combo, and you just go for a couple mix-ups on your way down. He manages to get the clip there, which is huge, and then this is so clutch. So after getting juggled this whole time, barely makes it out, gets the up smash, and now this is, like, from this position, Fox is basically dead. There's not a lot Fox can actually do here to beat Popo. Popo's coverage on Fox's recovery is really good. And it looks like maybe Aklo could have tried a little harder, but honestly, once you're in that spot, you can feel that there's no way back. The Icy should be able to close that out pretty much every time. The set score is 1-1. He counterpicks Dreamland here, which I think is an interesting pick. There's a couple options here. Like, I think Fox going to Yoshi's is pretty good here, but I think Aklo also has, like, in particular, he's good at using wide open space, and he was doing a really good job using the side plats before. So I think he just doesn't want to get in a position where he feels like he has to approach Nicki, because Nicki's been doing a really good job of covering those approaches. And if he's on Dreamland, he feels like, okay, I can at least use the platforms to get away, chill out for a bit, and then work my way in, eventually find a kill, without feeling pressured to, like, partake in these mix-ups that Nicki is trying to force him to do. Aklo gets 2 really early Nana kills, and this causes him to live a really long time. So I think, like, on this stage in particular, it's very useful. You get the really early Nana kill. It takes a long time for Popo to set up spots where he can get you, especially, like, they rely a lot on, like, down smash. Down smash, you get a big recovery up here. If they send the wrong way on the down smash, it's almost impossible to cover your recovery. ICs don't do horrendously on this stage, but if you want to camp them on the platforms, this is definitely the best place to do it. So he starts off with the platform game. Dreamland is a little special. You can transfer to the top plat pretty easily because the side plat is so high up, but I still don't think it's necessarily super good. But it's much better than on Battlefield, just because not because of the top plat's position, but because of the side plat's position, where, like, you're lifting off from the side plat a lot higher up. So they would need to, like, reach up higher to catch you during your movement. They can catch you maybe as you're landing on the top plat, but their ability to sort of get up here and sort of cut off your movement is definitely lessened because the platform is so high up. Aklo does a really good job here of tricking Nicki into trying to hit him, just kind of overcommitting. Oh, you're gonna try to move. You're gonna try to move around the platforms. I'll throw out some hitboxes. And a lot of times that's all it takes in Fox ICs. You move around a bit, ICs throw something out, you come back in. Oh, hey, they're out of position. Free opening. So he's just like, oh, I'm moving around. Oh, free opening. Come in, leave again. Nicki gets this. This is not even a real opening, but it's a very common opening for ICs to get right here, where they get the jab. Fox can actually jump here, roll, or shine, but it's very difficult in the moment to react to this. It's very quick. If they get it, it's huge. And so Nicki does the forward throw dash attack, which is really good. This is important. Aklo does not DI out of down throw down air a single time. It's not easy to DI out of. And notably, he just still wins the set, despite missing the DI on the down throw down air every time. I actually think if I was Nicki, I definitely think it would have been better to go for more down throw downers, just because Aklo does not SDI them in the set at all. I'm sure he's capable, but he doesn't get any of the SDIs, and I think if the Fox is missing the SDI on down throw down air, as the ICs, you should kind of ramp up how much down throw down air you're using. It can just be a huge shift, and it's not easy to get from the Fox end, so it's not like you're just like, oh, I'm just like crazy execution testing them. There's a little bit of a timing mix-up involved, and sometimes your timing can just be a little off, or the ICs keeps winning the mix-up, and you start questioning whether your SDI can really work, and then, you know, before you know it, they've taken like whole games off of you just with the down throw down air. So I think Nicki could maybe do a little bit more chump checking with the down throw down air on some of the grabs that he gets. And yeah, he just sets up the good edge guard, and that's a kill. The more of those you can get as ICs, the better. He really needs more of those against Aklo, and I think that a little bit too often he starts chasing a little bit too much. Like, if you look at this neutral spot, I think Nicki is holding up in neutral really well. There's not a lot Aklo can actually do about it, but Nicki is kind of just lets the patience change how he plays the position. So he could have just kept setting up. Like, there was not really a reason to go in here, but he decides to go in, and Aklo just immediately catches it. I think Aklo does a really good job of making himself feel just barely out of reach of the ice climbers. And there's the back air grab, which is a really good setup. And I think the back air grab is a great setup, but it feels like Nicki ended up relying on it a little bit too much in this set. And because he wasn't able to land any of his other grabs, that was a great Nana save, by the way. Because he wasn't able to land any of his other grabs, Aklo can be super ready for the back air into grab. Because Nicki's he's not really using a lot of jab grab. He's using the blizzards, but a lot of times what will happen is Nicki just does the blizzard. He does the dash back, dash in blizzard, and Aklo sees the blizzard, recognizes that he can't really go in on the blizzard, waits for it to end, and then does the same situation again, and this time Nicki decides not to do the blizzard. And it's not because Aklo really found a solution to the blizzard, it's just that Nicki decided that this time it's not the blizzard, and Aklo is a lot of times taking advantage of that. So really good Nana save there, goes high. I really like the up air grab attempt there. My ICs, a lot of worse ICs, would have gone for the back air here, because it just feels like, oh, we're keeping the edge guard up, but it actually puts Fox in a spot where he can do a really good job recovering. Whereas going for the up air grab here is, you know, if he lands this grab, which is only a few frames off, then this is basically a kill. Sort of the story of this set is Nicki just barely missing these really important setups and stuff like that, and that coming back to bite him. Like, notice how here, I think this is really what won Aklo this set, is on the platforms. He's able to just bait Nicki into jumping at him over and over. Nicki is ahead by a stock here. There's no reason for him to be chasing Aklo. Hold light shield, wave dash back and forth, make Aklo make something happen. But Aklo just moving around here is enough to get Nicki to swing. And that just transfers and becomes everything. And that's the death of Nana. And, you know, Popo is now at a high percent. You get all this stuff can go wrong. Even though Nicki, you know, does a good job playing the Popo position, this was like way more winning. He kind of gave up the spot for no reason. Just because Aklo moved around on the platforms for a second, he just kind of gave it all up. Great tech chasing. I think all of this from Nicki is really good. He's playing the mix-ups. He's doing a great job, but unfortunately, Fox's jab up smash is really good, and Aklo is so good at finding it. This shouldn't be working as much as it does in a theoretical world where Nicki is holding down a little bit more, but he just kind of dash dances a bunch. He just kind of dash dances in ranges where Fox short hop aerial would be strong, which I think works really well against lesser Foxes, and also probably a little bit of lower percent. But at the percent where the jab is really significant, and it's going to lead into the instant kill off of the up smash, I think Nicki could be a little bit more careful with the dash dances at that range. And if he's going to do them, just like hold C-stick down or something, or at least just when you think he might come in, just like roll the control stick down a little bit. Because those jab up smashes really make it for Aklo. Like, he just gets them at like the perfect percent every time. So these percents as ICs aren't fun. You're mostly just looking for a quick back air, and that's why he's just doing these instant back airs over and over. Aklo's really good at this. If you're Aklo's opponent, by the way, and Aklo up B's in a spot like this, if you just hold center, he goes to ledge very, very often here. And it's a great option. It's a fantastic option to go to ledge here. Most people aren't ready for it. This is like kind of the Aklo. You have to be ready for it. Nicki's doing a great job here of not giving up his position for the most part. Notice how this is like an unforced error. If Nicki just continues repeating his patterns, which he knows are good, they will work. But repeatedly, Aklo just sees the spot. Nicki's reacting well. Aklo leaves. Aklo comes back. Nicki's reacting well. Aklo leaves. Aklo comes back. Nicki has done something that puts him out of position. Aklo capitalizes. And he kind of does that every time he really needs something. It's just crazy to think about that this position is so Nicki favored. And he just makes this one bad read to the platform, almost like thinking he might, like, tournament winner to the platform again or something. Like, he's like, oh, he's messing up on the ledge. I don't really get this. But this is a horrible decision, and it just immediately bites him, and he loses Nana, which is huge. That might have made the set right there, because now Aklo's getting his lasers in. He's playing safe against Popo for the most part. You can hold Popo in the corner here with the back airs. He has a really hard time getting out. And yeah, he's able to just move around the platforms and keep doing these fake outs. And very difficult for Popo to really make anything happen. And Popo ends up doing these tech chases, which are not ideal, as you can see that Aklo can just recover, get back to ledge, gets a good setup, and it's really tough to actually cover this position as Ices in a way that like doesn't overcommit you. He manages to get the win, but it's not without losses. Aklo is at 200%. And so Nicki he's kept the lead, but this could have been a much larger lead, to be honest. Okay, and he plays the Popo game really well. He was playing really well as Popo all day. He was doing a really good job. Notice how he's not directly trying to punish what Fox does here. This is important if you're playing a character who's not as good as Fox. When Fox does things, most of the time, you just want to defend. And you want to get to a spot where you're sort of like, defend. Okay, he's doing a thing, defend. Okay, he's doing a thing, defend, counterattack, like this. That's really, really strong against Fox. Spacies in general, but really important against Fox, is to, like, for instance, not try to shield grab here. Notice that's not an instant shield grab. He waits, and then he wave dashes out after, like, a couple beats, and that gets him this significant opening. Very difficult tech chase to hit with Popo, but he gets an opening. Really love that Gimp attempt with the down air. That was so clever. And this spot is rough. Not easy. Basically guaranteed Death Ice Climber. So now Aklo's brought it back to even, but so much of the mileage he got was from freebies. So now he's just returned to the freebie zone. He's just like, okay. And I love doing this against Ices. I feel like it's very rare that they'll actually not just give this to you. They get very impatient. Moving around as Ices is a little tricky. Nana can get desync. They don't want to keep moving around. If you can force them to keep moving around, they aren't necessarily at a disadvantage. It's actually still fine for them, but it's easy as the Ices to feel like you should make something happen before something goes wrong as Nana. And Aklo he just keeps repeating this. It's sad to watch, but there's a lot of pressure here, so I get it. But look at this position. It's just literally he does nothing. He needs to do nothing to get this win in losers finals of a super major. He just goes to the side plat, uses the side B that he's been using a lot from the outer edge of the side plat to here, drops off here, and obviously Nicki might have been able to hit this in some world, but going for it when you don't need to, Fox gets this. Okay, big opening. Gets the split, and now he just gets a free Nana Gimp, and now it's 2 stocks to 2, but with no Nana, and now the lead has slowly been worked down. Great light shield by Aklo, by the way. This is going to be the meta very soon, is doing light shield in positions like this. The top have started doing it a lot. And when you're here as Fox, you just feel so comfortable moving around the platforms on Dreamland. Popo has no way to approach you, and he's even getting the same openings that he was earlier with the double. Is Nicki's just overcommitting here without too much of a reason. And he's winning the scrambles. He's doing a great job as Popo, as well as he can be, but he just needs to be down to play these long neutral situations repeatedly and not let Aklo force him into trying to fight just because he's camping. Like, there's 4 minutes left. There's a bunch of time. Even going for that up air is a little dicey. Like, you can kind of just let him do it. There's not too much that needs to be done or can be done out of that position. And as long as Fox plays patient here, it is very frustrating as Popo to catch him, but I think it's in the Popo's favor to drag it out. I think you want to be moving around. Ledge dash, jab up smash. Aklo shakes his head. He's like, ugh, how did I let this go so far? Gets the side B again. Watch, he's going to go to the plat. Okay, so the good corner usage, remember they don't want to commit to the corner. You can hang out in the corner a lot against ICs. On FD, this is really important. When they do this setup where they're going to blizzard you in the corner, on FD, there's no way out. There's a ways out here. He can go to the platform. If you ever end up in this spot, just go to ledge dash through the blizzard, and jump shine Nana, like just like this. And it gets him out for free, and he's able to set up on the platform and immediately get this like really good position. Outer edge of side plat, mad safe. He just sees this and he's like, will this work again? Sure enough, it does. I like the up air here. I think he's just slightly slow, but oftentimes you will be slightly slow here. If you're gonna go for the up air here as Fox, you need to be ready for this down air. If you notice, I'm definitely talking more about Fox here than Ice Climbers. Like in these games, I do play Fox more than Ice Climbers, but I also think there's a lot of spots in Ice Climbers where like you kind of just have to do what you need to do. And a lot of the real spots that we could be focusing on exactly what the Ice Climbers are doing, Nicki's not playing that hard. Like he's just not fighting for these long grounded repeating neutral situations like Aklo is. The scariest thing for me when I platform camp Ices is an Ices that won't bite. They let me stay on the platform and they just wave dash back and forth menacingly for minutes at a time, just slowly working their way around, looking for a potential opening. It makes it feel like I am the defensive one. If you run around and they start swinging, then you feel like you just need to get them to chase you or overcommit one time. Okay, the ice blocks are good. The fair is super interesting here because I didn't know about it. And I saw Nicki miss this fair before and get hit, but this time it apparently just works. Like, I personally think that just doing, like, a back air here is better. But he probably knows something that I don't. But I still think, you know, back air down smash, probably pretty good there. And so he brings it to last stock, but there's been so much inefficiency. Please don't wave dash back up air. Yeah, see, Aklo knows it too. Right here, he's like, oh, well, if I just go here and do my little setup, I get a free opening, and he does. And then he does the same thing again. He's found this vulnerability and he's hammering on it. This is honestly something Aklo's very good at. If he finds something that works, he will repeat the same sequence looking for the same thing. And Nicki gives it to him again. And so yeah, if I was Aklo, I would go here and do the same setup because it's working. And so he goes over there. And notice he doesn't go for the same setup, but this position is so safe. And I also think that Nicki is doing a pretty good job of just chilling here and holding this spot. But he needs to just keep doing it. He needs to just do this for like a while. And he does. He waits long enough that he finally gets the up air. He finally like doesn't get baited. Like, notice the timing difference here. Here, if you tried to hit this, maybe Fox double jumps away. But now here, he catches Fox on the double jump. He knows, like, okay, from this spot, if I go for the up air, either you're coming down into the up air or you're resetting. This is no longer like a vulnerable spot. It's a good up air. But sometimes that good up air doesn't show up in the first 10 seconds. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit for the up air. That is the consequence of, you know, playing against a Spacey on Dreamland as a character who has trouble getting into the air. And he almost gets this setup, but the slight miss, just that little bit of slowness, and I don't even think he was slow here. It's just that little bit. Like, if this had double hit here, I think he had it. And it was just a little bit of a mistake. Just a little bit. Aklo makes a little bit of a mistake too, but he's still in advantage state. And this is... Nicki was just missing every little close thing. Every little... this could have been a grab. He waited for the tech here. This could have for sure been a back air grab. Boom. Instant grab. That was the game. And those little mistakes cost him. He bites again. And he's not biting directly underneath Aklo in a way that that Aklo is afraid to come down. He's missing a little bit off to the side. And it's just another free opening. Like, Aklo essentially just farmed free openings for that entire Dreamland game and won. We're at 2-1 now. So if I'm Aklo, I'm like, okay, they're going Stadium, but I'm gonna win on the transformations. We're playing Unfrozen Stadium. And I know that my side platform camping game has been really good. Nicki hasn't done anything to call out the side platform shield / full hop. He doesn't have a top platform to use full hop side B to. He has a lot of stuff on the side plat where, like, he feels safe just shielding there. Nicki hasn't gone for any crazy back airs or up airs or blizzard setups or anything that really took down that position. And on this stage, they have a little bit more they can do because they have the short hop ice block where the ice block barely goes on top of the platform. It's better against other characters than it is against Fox. Fox is pretty good at avoiding it. So if I'm Aklo, Aklo, and the platform game has been working really well. I'm just gonna use the platforms. My goal on the default stadium would be to chill. I'd be chilling. I'm waiting for Nicki to jump into me and do his full hop up airs, which he's been doing a lot, and they've been missing a lot. And I'm gonna look for that and assume I'll win on the transformations. And if I'm Nicki, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, I'm gonna camp really, really hard in the transformations, gonna try to make those matter as little as possible, and I'm going to try to use the fact that there's no top platform to catch Aklo trying to camp on the side platform. That's what I'd be thinking here. Got these low side plats, gonna try to catch him up there. Like, I think that maybe this is an attempt to get like a full hop up air grab or something like that, but honestly, he's just kind of playing into what Aklo wants. Like, Aklo's goal was going to be to shield on the plat. Nicki needs to be hanging out right here, doing what he was doing before, covering this inner edge, and letting Aklo's shield sort of deplete. The corner is not as strong here, because he can't go to top plat, and there's also more room to the side here. So if they're committing to this side of the platform, they're not cornering themselves quite as far. It's part of why this stage is so good for them. And he just kind of gives it up immediately. Like, if you do this, you're gonna lose the game. Fox can shine here. Nana could die immediately out of this position. Aklo is just a little late on the shine, and so Nicki gets to cross back up towards the center. But this was it. This was like the set right here. He just kind of gave it up and gets away with it. He's fine, but that was a potential give up. He's just going way too hard trying to hit him on the plat. It seems like he's still frustrated from the last game, and he needs to just be chilling out. There's ways that he, like, Aklo's shield is getting smaller. It's getting more pokeable. We can just chill, and eventually Aklo will have to come down to the ground. Let's see. So Aklo, yeah, he just uses the plat, gets the free opening, creates the chaos. This was super good. You look for the... So notice that he's fine here. After this shine, he's very much in danger of Popo doing a wave dash down smash or wave dash jab grab. And so he just full hop double jumps away afterward, not overcommitting to Nana, knowing that he now has a corner position. This was actually such a good disengagement by Aklo. Really impressive. This back throw is not as good. You want the back throw to put Popo in the corner. Personally, right here, I think the up throw is better, but it's not the worst option right here because he catches Nana. Like, he throws him far enough away. Like, you might think, okay, I'm going to get rid of Popo and Gimp Nana here. It's a little bit less guaranteed than you think. Popo can wiggle out Waveland here, and then Nana is going to do the get-up attack. Like, it can get a little dicey, and maybe Popo can kill you for doing this, but he makes it work, and Nicki isn't fast enough coming over. It looks like he misses a Waveland trying to go over and punish him. So this was really good. My opinion, should have been an up throw, but the back throw is fine also. Gets this, cleans up the Nana kill early, really important. It's great because he can just chill on the stadium transformation now. Aklo doesn't need to make this part of the game go quickly. He can just kind of be like, okay, well, like, you can't really get me on this part anymore, so I can just kind of hang out. And eventually it'll go to a transformation where I'm at a big advantage. So he's just he's using the side plat, camping it out. This is what you should be doing against Popo. Remember, as I said in the first game, Popo can cause a lot of trouble if you don't respect his neutral. Popo can make Fox work for it. You have to respect that he can at least make you work for it. So I like this where he catches him jump into plat. This was a great decision instead of going for something like tech chase back here. Gets this position really good, and then he gets a miss input here and misses this. Crucial miss input. And then they're both moving around. I think this... Notice Aklo does it again. So look at this. Nicki is holding this space. So... He's holding it, but he keeps coming in at the same rhythm where he's just not okay playing the loop long enough in like a truly defensive way. He's trying to work his way in, which I can respect. But notice that there's this wall, move in, wall, move in, move out, wall, move in, and Aklo just sees it. He's like, oh, that's the third time you've done it. Like, he just feels the rhythm, gets the split, but he overcommits to the Nana kill here. Right here. This one is a little ambiguous. Sometimes in a spot like this, you would want to go for Popo, but I think going for this is fine. But right here, he probably should have switched back to Popo. Like, he should have probably, like, right here, shine, and then gone back for Popo here immediately. This would have been a really good spot. Or done what he did before, where he went for the shine and retreated to the platform. So he just overcommits here. He tunnel visioned a little bit on Nana right here, thinking, oh, I'll jump up here and shine her. And he gets comboed there, and he's annoyed at that. Good short into ledge. There is no reason at all that Nicki should not be going to the ledge with Nana here. Nana should always be covering edge, and Popo should always be on stage. That's just like a fact. So he goes for a little bit of a bad edge guard. And now, this is something that I feel like didn't happen in any of Nicki's other sets, where he didn't panic when Nana was gone. Every other set I saw, somebody would take Nana for a ride, and Nicki would just chill out. He'd be like, I'll beat him with Popo. But, you know, he's down 2-1. Aklo's ahead. He knows that Aklo will camp his Popo. He starts panicking a little bit. He starts really trying to chase him down for going after Nana, and it starts costing him. Aklo's just sort of beating him up for it. So I think this is like the moment Aklo's like, okay, he settles in. Can't lose the transformations against Popo as long as I camp, and so he's doing that. But he needed to just chill. Notice that it's the transfer. If you just stay chilling here, you're good. It's when you try to change positions on the platform that Popo or Ice Climbers in general will get you. Okay, great side B, great reaction to the side B by Nicki. I didn't think he was gonna get that. This, in my opinion, I think this is a little too much, a little too greedy on Nicki's end. I think this should have been another wave dash in. Like, Fox is just coming off invincibility, and Nicki's kind of like, oh, well, I'll just make sure Fox goes for this mix-up right as his invincibility ends, and I'll be ready, and I'll punish it with a big combo. But, you know, like, this is the guy, you know, who's been platform camping Popo a bunch, and you're on a transformation. I would try to drag it out a little bit. I would wave dash through, but he tries to play it a little bit too, like, baity and neutral. Like, he's looking for a little bit too much, when I think he should be chilling out right now a little bit. He should be dragging out the transformation. Because look, you're already coming back to neutral, but Popo would have been a lot happier here. And he could have stayed Popo and not been forced to lose the stock. Frustrating part about transforming Stadium, a lot of it is about managing the transformations. I'll camp here, I'll attack just as it's transforming, stuff like that. It becomes kind of significant. And against Ice Climbers, the transformations mess up their syncing a lot. So I would recommend, like, as a non-ICs character, the transformation is the perfect moment to attack them a lot of times. It's both the perfect moment to attack them and the moment where they're most expecting an attack, and so they're gonna try to get you. But it's still pretty good. You just have to watch out. He does a really good job here. Nicki avoids the down air, gets the grab. If this grab here was death, which it very, very reasonably could have been, this game probably goes a different direction. But he gets this. Look at this. Watch. Gets the regrab. Aklo mashes out so fast. Aklo is mashing. Look at his arms. He's mashing like crazy this whole time. You cannot give up in this and start thinking about your DI. You gotta stay mashing. Because look, gets the grab. Notice how slow the confirm is. This will happen a lot, especially under pressure. Ice Climbers will not get their frame perfect pummel. He starts his pummel so late. Look how all these frames it takes to come out. That by this point, and he could still lock with a perfect Nana hit here. He does get this out, but Aklo is all ready to pop out of the grab. Like, as soon as the pummel ends, Aklo will have added enough frames to get out. And so he tries to get the Blizzard, but it was too slow because Aklo popped out the second the pummel ended. And that's why getting those mashes is so important, because this changed the whole game. Even in this, even like 2-1 all in this spot, that was huge. I don't like that he cornered himself again on this end after just getting out of that end, but I do understand why. He wants to hold his lead. I think this is the only Blizzard, and this is what I'm talking about, where like, this is the only time where Nicki stayed steadfast on what he was doing. He gets the Blizzard, Aklo doesn't give in. He ice blocks, second Blizzard, he still isn't going for it, he doesn't trust it, but he's not stopping. Does a third one, confirms this one, and gets the grab. Earlier in the set, he was doing stuff like this, and he would just give up after the first two, even though Aklo wasn't showing any positions that actually beat what he was doing. He would just kind of stop doing it. But he gets this, big grab, very important, but he should have been able to kill off that first one. This was a great read here. I think this is probably his best grab of the set, where he waits for the spot dodge there. That was the most cognizant grab he did. A lot of his grabs so far this set have either been back air grab, good setup. They've been solid setups, but none of them have been raw grabs in neutral. He's done jab grab, done down air jab grab, he's done back air grab, he's done blizzard grab, but this is the first, like, strange timing mix-up grab, and not that I think, like, oh, he should be getting so many more of these, just that, like, this is a very skillful grab to get, where he waits for the spot dodge on the Fox pressure and gets it. And, like, if you can capitalize this into a kill, you're cooking. You're in a great spot. And he just misses. He misses the tech chase here. And this is the spot where I'm like, okay, man, like, he hasn't hit a single escape on down throw down air the entire set. It's time to down throw down air. He's not gonna hit it. And he still could have gotten it off the dash attack, but I personally think the down throw down air there was really good. I think in a spot like this, you actually don't need the grab. Like, I think getting, like, wave dash in and, like, wave dash in, jab, turn around, back air here. Really good pressure, doesn't require this big commitment, and the jab, and the grab is a little bit like, please, you know, like, to just run in and grab. I think he could use that position to pressure a tiny bit better. He goes for the buffered Nana grab. This is why Nana gets hit here. It's because he's holding A. So Nana gets the frame perfect grab, and that's not good because it sends her to edge there. And Aklo cleans it up. It was a bad decision by Aklo to go all the way down there, for sure. Like, right here. After this shine, probably just grab ledge, ledge dash, hit Popo, cover Nana. Hard to make the right decision right there, but that's probably the best option. Going for this is a little crazy. You should just die here, and it should be 2-1 ICs. And like I said, the story of this set is Nicki misses very important final clutch moment move that would have put him in, like, a big advantage, and then he has to fight back. Like, he's just kind of fighting this uphill battle the whole set, when he really didn't necessarily need to be fighting it. Like, it, based on, like, his gameplay, it feels like he could have gotten a bunch of these and just kind of been a much bigger advantage, but he ends up getting a lead, and then he'll just kind of miss a little bit, and then Aklo brings it back, and then before you know it, it's even stocks Popo Fox. And as good as Nicki is at Popo Fox, eventually you will lose Popo Fox. Eventually. You can't consistently win it every time. You will lose, and Fox will have a better payoff structure off of his openings than you will as Popo. So it's not, like, you obviously want to maximize it, and I think that Nicki has done the best job I've seen in a long time of an ICs keeping their Popo alive, not just treating it as a little bit of extra damage, and just really, really working for it to make sure he gets it. But if that was combined with more, like, if he played double ICs as patiently as he played Sopo, he was for sure going to win this tournament. He was just way too aggro on Aklo with the jumping and the up airs, and way too impatient with, like, he's just way more patient looking for these positions and grabs than he was with the double ICs, and, like, repeating the blizzards and not jumping into the platforms. All of those things made a big difference over time, because eventually, you know, you're here and he's getting as much as he can, but this could have been 3-1, where you lose this and you get two nanas now. And so now it's like, okay, he's playing the double again. Why do this, you know? Like, he has strong position. The grab break, it happens. Why does he do this crazy up air? He has a strong position. He can keep doing it. Aklo has not shown a way past it, but he gets antsy, and he starts going for these reads that aren't real, and it makes what Aklo is doing so much stronger than it really needs to be. Once again, the mash, so important. I think there might be one more mash this game or something like that, where it's just like barely makes it out in such a critical position. Makes a huge difference. And now, look at, he's camping these positions so well. Not camping, he's holding these positions really well with the back air. Aklo does not want to move in on this. If you hold these positions with the blizzard, with the short hop aerials, consistently over time, he will get more out of it. Like, Aklo is scared. He's double jumping, air dodging to plat. He does not want to deal with the grounded position. He also cannot force you to not be in a grounded position. There's a little bit of a caveat that it's stadium. And so if Aklo can just drag it out, maybe he'll end up on a transformation that's more favorable. But I can I know for a fact Aklo's not thinking about that here. Like, it's too close. You're just zoned in on, like, winning these interactions. And I think, once again, a little bit committal. Not quite as committal as before, but just keep stalemating it. Just keep it. Keep it going. Get a blizzard. He's just not. And then he big overcommits with the up air. And this, I think, was also really important. Another one of those, like, oh, right here, he needs this either smash attack or another up air or a back air or something. And missing this just caused a lot of issues. Look at that. Again, the mash. So important. Sure, Nicki could have won this game if he was more on point. But that'll happen a lot. You end up here. Oh, you get out. Doesn't have time for Nana to come over. Now we're on a transformation. As Nicki here, you gotta be like, your transformation? No, this is mine. I'm hanging out here. Like, what was that down smash going to do? He's just clearly a little bit more desperate for it than Aklo. He's not willing to, like if you just hold right here as ICs and hold and, like, start chucking ice blocks in, what is Fox gonna do here? But he ends up letting him out, and he ends up getting cornered because of this overcommitment. Aklo just sort of hanging out until Nicki gives him something. And it made up for a lot of his deficiencies in this set. He made a lot of mistakes. His Nana kills could have been a lot cleaner. He played disrespectfully against Sopo a few times. But he played solid in most moments to not get big grabbed. And when he played patient, Nicki was consistently giving him openings. Consistently. Very consistently. Like, he would just be patient and then cover it. And now he's just like, okay, lock in, up smash. Ends up here, and then this is just kind of like, sure, okay. Maybe he could have won his Popo there, but it was a pretty bad spot. Aklo ends up winning 3-1. Overall, amazing run by Nicki this tournament. Feel like he probably should have just won the event. Not that he should have won the event. I think, like, up until this point, I felt like he probably should have won the event just because of, like, beating Zayn, beating Cody, beating J-Mook with ICs is another thing, but beat Zayn, beat Cody. The Josh Man set felt, like, indicative of where we were at. Like, it felt like Moki has a little bit of trouble against ICs. It felt like we were maybe just in a timeline where everyone was just kind of be caught off guard by ICs. Nicki was just gonna kind of clean up with the basics, focusing on, like, back air grab and stuff like that. Aklo kind of brought it back. He played patient in a way that I feel like the pressure probably got to Nicki. I know he's a generally patient player. Everybody giving it to him for the rest of the day before this might have conditioned him a little bit to not be quite as ready for Fox running away. It's hard to make judgments on that. It felt like every time Aklo would go to the platform, Nicki would kind of be like, okay, so you're going to the platform, and then Aklo would be like, and then I'll stay here on the platform. And instead of responding to that with, okay, I will move around very carefully and find the right opening for this, it was like, okay, you're on the platform and you're not coming down, so I gotta make something happen, and then would just fall into these kind of basic patterns where Aklo was punishing it with the side B, slide off on top plat, punish, stuff like that. And then Aklo was doing a pretty decent job at covering the Nana recoveries and gimping Nana. And he was making sure not to, for the most part, give Popo any crazy Popo stocks. There was only one crazy Popo stock, and it was on FD. Overall, Aklo was efficient enough, especially with, like, jab up smash and stuff. He didn't let Nicki live too long. He edgeguarded Nana decently enough. Most importantly, he mashed really well and avoided the really good grab combos. And he was also doing a really good job of abusing Nicki's impatience on the platforms. And I think Nicki overall played well, but through nerves or whatever, he definitely got thrown off in neutral and was losing a lot of the neutral interactions where he didn't need to. His patterns were unbeaten. Many of his patterns went unbeaten, where he was just able to hold the position. Aklo never answered it, and Nicki would give up on it. Despite all that, he probably could have still won the set, but he missed a few crucial confirms. A lot of times as ICs, those missed opportunities turned into, oh, now I'm just Popo. That concludes the analysis of Losers Finals. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I feel like there was a pretty good amount to glean from it. I think both of them played it at a pretty reasonably high level,